fight the war we face once we get back home, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
And how are you doing that?
I'm doing that through my podcast. We're combating veteran and first responder suicide, one story, one conversation at a time, while reminding the community that they're not alone. We all have our struggles.
I've heard an alarming statistic that 22 is not accurate.
Yeah, no, it's closer, if not higher, than 44 veterans a day. However, when those statistics went out and came back in, only like 23 states participated in sending in the data for that statistic. So it's not even counting every state. Not to mention, it's kind of hard to count suicide when it's like drug overdoses, car accidents, and others to the everyday civilian that's willing to speak up and own their story or want to share their story, right? I feel like we all have a story, and it all needs to be heard, and it helps us understand each other more, right? Like Dr. Smiley, you are such a badass, you're always happy, you never struggle, and I'm just a little bitch because I'm not even doing half the things he's doing.
And other people can say I don't have time right now, and other people are like, I don't get it. And it is a spectrum. Well, right. For Montel, I said it would mean a lot if I could take a picture of you, and there are 100 people waiting to talk to him. This picture is a hold-up kind of situation. And he says, sure, he did it. I was the first person that got to talk to him off the stage.
That's awesome.
And there are people that are not, and I've read their energy, and you identified and edified his energy was really positive and very welcoming, and it was. But you learn who you want to get to know, and he was a cool guy to know. And at the event, he was just very open. He was just right there for everybody.
Absolutely. I know there's some controversy around.
Welcome to the Dr. Smiley Show. I am so excited to have this wonderful gentleman on the show, Joshua Mach. He is a big podcaster. He's got a podcast called JMAC Podcast, and it was a fluke that we met. We were going through security in Phoenix, and big shout out to Phoenix. I mean, they put us together here, and we were in the TSA area. They were like, gosh, you guys seem like you're protecting our country. I just want to thank you for all you're doing. Just get the heck through this TSA line. So, and then we said, who the heck are you? And we became friends. And then we kept seeing each other because we obviously were in the same plane too. Well, we weren't obviously in the same plane. We ended up being on the same plane heading to MIC 25, which is the Military Influencer Conference. So Josh, how are you doing?
Doing well, brother. Thank you for having me. And it was a sign that we met at the airport for sure.
Yeah, we both were kind of inquisitive of, hey, what's going on when we get there? And so we took care of each other, and we both were in the quandary of where we were staying that first. Well, I was more in the quandary of where I stayed. So it was really cool to have a friend just like that could navigate what I think is probably one of the biggest events for honoring our soldiers, our people that serve our country.
Yeah, it was great being able to meet you before we even got there. So it was like a connection from home in a sense, right? So I was there and I was able to be myself from the jump with you. So it was great.
Yeah, and we're both podcasters, and we care about influence. We care about spreading the message of hope and patriotism. I have an event coming up, Veterans Day. We're looking for 111 veterans to speak their piece of patriotism, service, and their story. And I certainly am excited that you're going to be part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you actually doing today?
Well, I thank you for that. Not everyone asks that, and I am doing, I guess I have mixed about how I'm doing. I'm a little anxious. I had insomnia last night because there's so many interesting things happening right now, and most of them are very good. It's just I'm juggling a lot of stuff, and you and I are both sleep deprived right now. So when I ask you that question back, I won't be surprised if we mimic at least the tiredness part. But I'm really excited. I think insomnia has a piece of, wow, there's anxiety, there's fear, but there's also the adventure. And so I've been having a little trouble sleeping with all the good stuff happening right now.
Yeah, I've recently learned that excitement and anxious, they're the same feelings. So it's almost up to us to decide which way we want to go with it. But for the longest time, I was always thinking that I'm just anxious. I'm scared, I'm worried, all the negatives, right? Instead of accepting that, dude, I'm just excited for this opportunity to be on Dr. Smiley Show. I'm so honored. All these things are going well through my podcast and my organization. So now I just got to recognize that fine line of anxiousness or excitement. And when I'm able to catch myself, I always try to force myself to believe it's excitement.
And it's a good choice. I mean, it's like thinking of whether you are in anxiety or that you're in gratitude too. It shifts you into a more beautiful mood. But when you say I'm anxious to see you, that's actually misusing the word. I'm
Yeah.
fearful to see you. So I'm excited to see you is a better form. But yeah, this is a really good distinction. I'm happy you brought that up. It's not a should, it's a choice. You choose to use the word excited and you'll feel it. And same with gratitude.
Yeah, and it's so crazy, but everything about life is actually a choice. Like how we wake up and what we choose to allow ourselves to think about is our choice. But for the longest time, we've just been so, oh, I'm just gonna stop talking for everybody and start talking for myself. For the longest time, I've been so down and just like depressed. I thought that's just how I thought instead of realizing I allowed those thoughts, right? Once those thoughts start processing in my brain and I catch myself, I can choose to force myself to start thinking differently, thinking more positive, thinking more happily. And I wanted to say this to you earlier, where you said you had your bit of insomnia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever take a second and pause and just appreciate everything you've put together so far and where you're at in life and that, and just be grateful for it, not instead of being like me and worrying about all the negatives that or what we haven't done yet?
I do. I attempt to do it a couple times a day. I don't. I'm not talking about the full spectrum. I'm talking about the piece I'm grateful for in that moment or that day, or just a conversation, or even just to be, as you said earlier, excited about what's next. So you're putting your energy in the right place. But yeah, I'm a very big proponent of it.
That's awesome.
I wanted to acknowledge you. Uh, First of all, the choice of using the word choice is something, and also um, not speaking for other people when people are saying what problem people have. It's not maybe not the problem people have. It might be the problem one person has. It might be the problem the person has that's speaking. But it's very interesting how you can change your perspective by using words that encompass too much of a generality. And
Yeah,
so I just one last thing I wanted to say about the acknowledgement is I was here late for this show, and the sleep deprivation. You could have chosen to have an attitude about it, and you did. You had a great attitude,
for sure.
but that's grace. That's grace.
Yeah, no, I make mistakes. Not that you made a mistake or anything like that, but I would want somebody to show me the same respect. Like just because I'm late doesn't mean I think of you any less or anything like that. It's because of what's happening in my life. And I just appreciate the opportunity of being here. So I wasn't gonna like throw it out the window because I have an ego. I mean, I do, but I keep it at bay, right?
Right. Well, I wanted to show off a book that's coming out in December that you're going to be in,
I'm
and so
excited.
and you're going to actually be in two books. One is a directory, but this one is the Keep Smiling for Veterans. Jeff Taylor is technically Coach Jeff Taylor, and this is the wonderful picture of my brother here.
Hey, look at that guy.
Yeah, that's a beautiful smile, and I, I'll tell you what I am really excited about is that we stayed connected. We're doing the show, and you have really honored some amazing people on your show, and it's just such a great referral system when two podcasters or speakers are saying, "Hey, I know some people that would be great for your show," and you're taking the show up a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm excited about you saying you need to have so and so on your show. They're so positive, they're so awesome, and I do want to also show the veteran. I want to show the veteran event that you're going to be part of real quick.
Okay.
But go ahead, go ahead while I'm looking for that real quick.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to find somebody who can help me make a book uh, of for my contacts, like everybody that I had on my show. I think it'd be cool to make a book for them. I would like to make it as a magazine cover or a
Mm-hmm.
magazine because in my brain, the album art that I create for to me, that's my version of like a Sports Illustrated, right? So I think it'd be real cool to work with you on making that happen. And it's all inspired by you, to be honest.
Well, thank you. The exciting part for me is that not just I get to make it, but I get to show the world. I mean, I'm all about the distribution. And so getting the word out about your podcast and making it bigger gets you sponsors. It gets the needle to move in the right direction, that people have hope and inspiration and they have a place to turn to feel better. So I do want to show the event that you're going to be part of. This is the Veterans Day event. And we are so excited. A lot, I would say well over half the event is going to be MIC people.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll see. That's the other thing, when you put the book together and you have all those pictures of all those people, you'll recognize a lot of the people. I probably should just give a quick little dance through that book. So this is the
Do I
cover.
get to pick my page?
Well, it's alphabetical,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'll
Okay.
say that it's easier to find people. But there's Mr. Brian Arrington, and he's been fantastic. He's really turned my company into an automated machine. But there's just all these amazing people. I have so many MIC people to add to this book, so I'm just giving you a little dance through this real quick. But you will be, and he's the one who actually told me about MIC first. Daniel
Okay.
Faust. Did you know him?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He gets in the leaderboard pretty heavily. So it's
Okay.
just, here's where you will be roughly. And there. So
Yeah,
you'll be
down in the
right about
ends.
here, right about here. So
Perfect.
I am, and that is literally being added at the end of this month. We're putting that out next month we're doing the digital for November.
Okay, and how can I order my copy of it?
Well, I'm sending you one. Your money's no good, buddy.
Awesome. That's what I love to hear, right?
Well, we're going a little out of order or sequence from what I normally do. I like my audience to know who you are, and then we move into the journey of what you do in life. And I wanted to just acknowledge you for just being cool. So let's head back to
Appreciate it. Thank you.
who is Josh. So, Josh, if you'd be kind enough to share, where you're born, what your childhood was like.
Yeah, I grew up about 45 minutes south of Chicago, but whatever you think of Chicago, throw that out the window. I grew up with a one stoplight town. Our traffic jam was a tractor going down our 2-lane road. I graduated with 80 something kids. My dad was a police officer growing up. My mom took over my dad's security company. And I just grew up in a small country town where I wanted to serve and give back. I owe a lot of it to my dad. I've been reflecting lately. I've noticed that a lot of the things I want to do is because of my father and growing up, I'd always volunteer with him with the beef or the Lions Club or the community beef roast and just things like that. So my dad really instilled that wanting to give back and be there for the community aspect in me. And that's what I am doing now. So then I joined the Marine Corps late in life. I don't know if I'm jumping too far ahead.
Too far ahead. Yeah, I want to go back. Just when you say you volunteered for community events, what kind of volunteering?
Yeah, so my favorite one is like we would host the Lions Club. It's an organization that collected and raised money for the community, and they gave back to special need individuals or individuals in need. But one of the events that they would host was a pancake breakfast, where for like $2 you can come in, get all you can eat, but it would just be the community getting together,
Mm.
and it'd be just like it was a fun event as a kid. I'd get to be like behind the scenes. I'd get to help cook. I'd get to help introduce and check people in and all that. It was just a lot of fun volunteering and feeling like you were needed and appreciated, I guess you could say.
Now, do you think that was one of the reasons you wanted to serve in the military, in the Marines?
Most likely, I haven't like connected those two until right now. I do
Mhm.
know that I remember my dad always loved watching old war movies. Both my grandparents were in the military. My dad always spoke about how he wanted to be in the military. He just never chose to do it. And then I was waiting to become a cop like my father. I wanted to follow in his footsteps. And I was always concerned that what if I made a mistake? Would it affect my father's reputation and would it affect him because he was still serving? Uh, and I always wanted to do one step better than my dad to make him proud. So I was like, okay, well, so I chose to join the military. Crazy thing is, when I told him I was joining the military, he defended my mom and said, "You shouldn't do that, Josh. That's not the right thing to do. You should stay home with us." Uh, but then, as soon as graduation came, they were my number one supporters and
Mm.
super proud.
That's awesome. Well, since you mentioned the pancake breakfast, I never get an opportunity to share this interesting little book I put together called Diagrams, and it explains how life works. And ironically, the pancake diagram was the first diagram I put in the book. So I'm doing this for you, Josh, but I'm also doing it because I never get to show this off. So this is a weird little intake to the show. So this is a book called Diagrams, and it explains all kinds of crazy stuff, like why we feel abundant is because we have more than we need, and why we feel scarcity because we have less than what we need. And mainly that's in the area of income. But if you type in the word pancake up here, all right,
Okay.
there's pancake. So on the opposite side is the complete Pac-Man explanation diagram. Pac-Man, not Pac-Man. These are things I made up. um, this is pancakes, by the way. So there you go. Eggs and flour pasta, egg and milk, omelet, flour and milk, batter, and then put it all together and you get some pancakes. So if you ever need that diagram to send over to the pancake crew in your old town, you got that from me.
Hey, I actually want to start doing pancake breakfast through my organization.
Yeah.
Because part of what I want to do is rebuild the community together. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so tired of everything having its own niche, especially when you're talking about mental health. How can you be a mental health advocate, but just because you don't fit the niche, oh, sorry, I can't help you. I can't talk to you. I'll talk to you. Like, come on in. Like, you're all family to me. But everything I do is going to be led by veterans and first responders because that's our calling. That's our passion.
Right. Where do you live?
I live in Surprise, Arizona.
And was it?
And what? Was it a surprise?
Yeah.
It's still a surprise that how fast this town is growing. My
Yeah.
whole life, I've never seen this much growth in a community, which is
Surprising.
surprising, and it brings up like interesting thought processes because I love the country life. I love the quiet. But now I used to have to drive 30 minutes to get anywhere besides our one grocery store.
Mhm.
Uh, but now I don't have to leave more than 5 minutes before I get anything I want, and it's an interesting change in my life, and it has impacts. There's an impact on me, right? I feel like it's making me lazier. It's making me not want to drive anymore. It's making me not want to go out because life's just I'm so abundant with things to do in such a small area. I don't have to worry about going anywhere now.
How long have you lived there?
I lived here since 2017.
So it's where you calling home for a long time, or
It's
I
where
mean,
I'm going home for now.
okay. Well, the reason I'm asking is because we just kind of let people know what a cool place it is, and so the surprise is going to get bigger. It sounds like from the show.
Yeah, Surprise is booming. I'm gonna make Surprise grow thanks to Dr. Smiley's help. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah,
Surprise is
get
pretty
that
cool.
land. Get that land now before
Oh,
all
there's like
people.
no land left here in
Oh,
Surprise.
geez.
Uh, the cool part about it is I'm 5 minutes from the spring training stadium for two baseball teams, and there's movie theaters, arcades, grocery stores, shopping centers. Everything's all around me.
There's a joke, Steve Martin joke that refers to your shirt. Stay. He
Okay.
says, "My mom and dad had a really sick sense of humor. They named me Stay, and so they'd say, 'Come here, Stay. Come here, Stay.'" And so, tell us about the shirt.
Yeah, so on the back, it actually has my logo with a couple other organizations that have sponsored me recently.
Hmm.
And stay is just a simple reminder. Like if someone's struggling, they're looking for a sign. And
Hmm.
this is just a subtle way of doing it and letting people know, like, hey, stay, you're worthy, you matter.
That's awesome. So, tell me about your service.
I joined the Marine Corps late in life, so I was considered an old man at 23 when I got in.
Yeah.
I was a combat engineer. I got to play with explosives, but thankfully, I never had to use it in real life. Uh, that used to be a struggle of mine, is feeling like I failed. I didn't complete the mission because I never saw combat, but I signed up expecting myself to do that. That was like what I signed up for. I wanted to serve my country. And that was in my brain, that was the version of serving my country. It was to go overseas and fight in the war. That opportunity never arose for me. And I used to allow it to hold me back and feel ashamed of being a veteran because I didn't have that experience. So I didn't feel like uh, was important enough or deserving or whatever. But I've been really working hard on retraining my brain to recognize that that's a blessing. Like, yeah, I may have wanted that, but did I actually want that? Do I actually want to go through all that and deal with everything that comes along with it? Um, so I've been really working hard on retraining my brain to realize it's a blessing, like I was saying. And I've recognized that my calling of joining the Marine Corps wasn't to go fight the war overseas, but it's to fight the war we face once we get back home. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
Hmm. And how are you doing that?
I'm doing that through my podcast. We're combating veteran and first responder suicide, one story, one conversation at a time, while reminding the community that they're not alone. We all have our struggles.
I've heard an alarming statistic that 22 is not accurate.
Yeah, no, it's closer, if not higher, than 44 veterans a
Yeah,
day.
that's what I was hearing.
However, when those statistics went out and came back in, only like 23 states participated in sending in the data for that statistic. So it's not even counting every state. Not to mention, it's kind of hard to count suicide when it's like drug overdoses, car accidents, and other versions of that. Like you don't necessarily know that's what it is, but that's what it was.
Yeah, I was very saddened to hear that the figure is so erroneous. I mean, a doubling factor. I mean, there's just so many people that think it's 22, and that's considerably that's a very big problem. Um, I know that Jody Martin, who was at the event, her book is actually coming out on Veterans Day, and she's using some of that funds to support those initiatives. I just am going to show you the cover real quick. This is actually just sent to me because it's going to press Monday, but
But that's amazing.
it's a book that educates people what Veterans Day is versus what Memorial Day is, and other I guess patriotic holidays. So yeah, it's I read her book, and it just hits you, and it makes me think about our country, how oblivious some of us are about what it is to serve, and also the gratitude aspect of how much we have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a deep topic for me because I hear people that come from Israel and they say, yeah, that's part of the gig. You do 2 years of service for the country. And I'm kind of a proponent of it.
Right. I see. I'm for it and against it. Right. I think I'm against it now because I have kids, my
Yeah.
girls, and I don't want them to have to do it.
Right.
But I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And maybe there's a hybrid or something, but there's just, there's no way you come out of the military not having more respect.
Absolutely.
And just the fact that you have also a lot more gratitude.
It'd be real 100%. And it'd be real interesting to find the statistics of veteran suicide in Israel because everybody would be a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if the mindset's differently or if everyone's just tougher because I don't want to say that we're weaker, right? But like, eat my way to explain this is that each generation we're making our kids softer because we're giving them more. We're giving them the love, the attention, the affection that we never had and always said, we're not going to raise our kids this way, so we're going to raise our kids the best way possible, which in return is making them softer because they're not having to do as hard of things. They're not getting the hard discipline that we may have gotten before.
Yeah. I'm just going to show this real quick. People can look it up themselves. But since we are asking that question, this is what came up when I asked veteran suicide in Israel. So it looks like does that look kind of close in a way to our earlier figures? Like that's about half, right?
Yeah.
About
So
21. And again, they could have the same statistics we have, which is not counting everything. That's my point, is that statistics are only as good as the data that you're actually explaining that was
for
derived.
sure.
Yeah.
But there's also so many variables when we're
Yeah.
talking about another country,
Right.
right?
Right.
So
So what was your favorite part of serving?
everything I hated.
Yeah.
The camaraderie. Like when you're in the suck of the things like the training, the field ops, it's obviously only raining when you're in the field, things like that. But like the worst parts were like the most fun parts as well because
Yeah.
you were in that suck with your other buddies, your other brothers and sisters that you had no choice but to have them around you. And so you were able to joke and have as much fun as you possibly could in like the worst possible times of your life.
Yeah, you are having me recall some memories where you just kind of lose it with laughter. You're just like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just loved when it would rain and bivouacking and just like, wow, thank you.
Yeah, we didn't get tents or anything. We just had to sleep out there in our sleeping system.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you ain't it ain't raining if you ain't training.
that's pretty cool. So tell me about your podcast. Tell me when you started it, what some of the highlights are, who you're looking for to be on your show.
Yeah, so my podcast started back in 2020 in my therapist office. I had this idea to my buddy posted a picture of stop doing the 22 push-ups and just pick up the phone and call a buddy. So boom, light bulb clicked. I'm like, oh, a podcast, that'd be great. And then I was talking to my therapist about it, and she's like, "You have your phone on you?" I said, "Yeah." And she tried to trick me to go live in her office, telling everybody right then and there that I was doing that. And I was like, "All right, now you're the crazy one. Let's switch chairs here." But I went home, made a video letting everybody know that this is what I was starting and this is what I was going to be doing. My target is veterans and first responders to the everyday civilian that's willing to speak up and own their story or want to share their story, right? I feel like we all have a story and it all needs to be heard. And it helps us understand each other more, right? Like Dr. Smiley, you are such a badass. You're always happy, you never struggle, and I'm just a little bitch because I'm not even doing half the things he's doing and he's doing it with a smile and I'm miserable. But then you come on the podcast and you open up about your insomnia, your this, your that, and it just shows people hope. It shows people that you could still struggle but show up and be successful and still get things done, and that there's different coping mechanisms other than drinking or smoking or whatever your substance or
Addiction, habit choices. Yeah.
addiction, yeah, whatever that is. Like there's different options. There's healthy coping mechanisms.
Mhm.
Uh, and I'm sure we can discuss that, right? Like I'm sure writing these books, although it may be stressful for you, but it's probably a coping mechanism because you get to tune out from whatever passes in your brain, like trying to chew at you, and you just hyper focus in this book, and you're able to complete it and get things done.
I'll say that two comments. One is people do assume because I'm Dr. Smiley, I'm always happy, and I am a human, so of course I'm not. And but I've done a lot of training, and the training is how do you get out of your funk? You know, because the funk can keep you there, and it can make you worse, and it can debilitate you. But I found that we've used the word gratitude a lot in this show, but you shift to gratitude, you just can't be in that funk anymore. I mean, if you think about your son or you think about who you love, it's an amazing shift for you.
Absolutely. There's something scientifically, it's scientifically proven that you cannot be depressed and grateful at the same time. So when
Right.
you're in that funk, you have to choose to force yourself to be grateful until it's your actual thoughts.
True. And with enough practice, it's you don't it's not even a force. It's
Yeah,
actually
it turns to muscle memory, right?
right.
But for the longest time, me still being the having that victim mindset, not thinking me thinking I'm a victim, yeah, fucking right, right? But it's so crazy how I'm just going to continue to talk about myself. It's so crazy how long I've allowed myself to be in this victim mindset without even recognizing it, right? Everything that happens in life is happens because of choices we made or we make. So we just got to own up to them and just accept them, but like start viewing life differently. I was listening to a podcast the other day and they said your life can be great, but we focus on the five things we don't have and make our life miserable instead of focusing on the 105 things we do have.
Right.
So I've been really trying to like when I catch myself thinking about something negative, I turn it to something I'm grateful for, positive for.
Yeah. I think Tony Robbins is one of the people that probably have said this to me that I recall the most. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you.
Yeah,
I know of a lot of people have also adopted that, and it may not be his original quote, but that is such an important uh, programming to adopt into your brain.
absolutely.
Just like you don't have to do anything, you get to.
Yeah. I've been catching myself on that. Like I have to go do this, and I like catch myself. I'm like, no, I get to do this, and it's crazy how the mindset shifts.
hmm you made a mention about how you were making I guess, a possibility that I get anxious or that doing a book could have some stress. And it's interesting, but I set the book business up that it would be zero stress. And I know that sounds impossible. And yes, it probably is. But I declared that anyone that worked in our system, whether it was a client, a team member, or a partner, that we would not do stress. We would not do chaos. And we would respect the time elements you have to build in so that when there's letdowns, there's cushion. And
Right.
so,
That's
so,
awesome.
and we just moved. A book is about inspiration. Don't, you'll never not write a book that's inspiring. You'll always have a problem writing a book you have to do.
For sure.
So, yeah, so I'm excited for you to have that process. It, did you meet this gentleman here? The guy, he gave me one of his books.
I don't believe so.
So, the gentleman is David Schroeder. Yeah, let me just show you Dennis. I'm sorry, Dennis Schroeder here.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, you did the forward, you should have it on the front cover. And just little things like when you have a big name or you have someone that's edifying you, you should have it on the front cover. It helps move the book a little better, edify the book a little more. But his mission is to make books for people for their families.
Well, that's
And
awesome.
I said, if you can help me get a system, I mean, not a system, but a presentation, there are people that would fund this kind of stuff.
For sure.
This family did not have any book or any story, and so I mean this is pretty well done. But I got this at MIC, and this is the veteran right here.
That's awesome.
So, and I show that to you to say, we don't know when we show something like that if someone's watching, they go, I would love to help with that, or when they hear about your show, which I want to go a deeper dive on that. So, let me show people how they can listen to your show first of all.
Awesome.
There it is, the JMAC Podcast. And so, when did you start it?
I started it in 2020. I had a name change about a year and a half ago.
Cool. And you got all your information here. And I'm a subscriber, and you have 255 videos. Tell me about some of your guests. Who you
Yeah,
have?
so I've had everybody from active duty to veteran to the first person that was up on my YouTube page. He's a UFC fighter.
Mm,
Uh, I had the other person that was on there with the album cover. His name's Patrick Fitzhugh. He's a U.S. Air Force veteran. He used to teach SEER school, and now he's running USAA out here in Phoenix. So I talk to everybody. Doesn't matter if you're the janitor, the
mm.
CEO, or anybody in between. You matter, you're worthy, and you're important.
That I got from you right out of the gate. But you got to meet some people at MIC that I think some people would be a little hesitant, like, oh my gosh, am I worthy to even talk to them? And whoever it is, man, I saw you just rubbing elbows and having fun and having great conversations and enrolling them in that their time was worth being on your show, which is it's a big ask sometimes.
No, absolutely. It's super cool. I do notice that if I know who somebody is, I get a little bit more hesitant
Mhm.
to approach them,
Right.
but I still do. It takes me, I have to work myself up to it, but I'll still approach them, right? So I've met everybody from the janitor working at Mick to Montel Williams
I
and
know.
that. So it was cool. I asked Montel to take a picture with me, and he was super open and
Yeah.
like willing and receptive for it. We took a picture, and the lady that took the picture was actually Ryan Mannion. So I'm not sure if you are familiar, but she is the brother of Travis Mannion, and she started the Travis Mannion Foundation in his
Oh yeah,
honor.
yeah, yeah. That was the great interview he did with her.
Yeah, it was. It was amazing.
Yeah, and I had just such a huge lift up of what an amazing person he is. And the fact that he went to Annapolis Naval Academy, right, 40 minutes from my house, I felt like, wow, this is where I'm supposed to be right now, to hear that someone in my backyard has done all this amazing stuff, and that it's all possible. I mean, that's a tough place to get through.
Yeah, I didn't know he was like a 22-year Marine veteran
Right.
until that interview.
Yeah, he broke into everything with what I would call just massive determination. Like you can tell this guy, you don't shake him. He's gonna.
Yeah. No, for sure. He definitely had a confidence and I don't know if the correct word's an aurora or whatever. He had an energy about him. Now I'm sure that comes from years of doing this and being in the public eye. But obviously to be in the Marine Corps for 22 years and to you had to be a leader at that point, right? So he had some great things instilled with him. And I don't my memory's not the best, so I don't remember his full story, but I'm sure he's had that leadership in him for a while. But
Well,
it's just cool to see that that's possible.
one of my biggest indicators about who a person is ironically when I hand them this. So there's lots of different ways you can take it. Some people go, "Oh, I love it." Okay, and some people could say, "This is cool," and other people could laugh at it, and other people can say, "I don't have time right now," and other people are like, "I don't get it," and it is a spectrum. Well,
Right.
Montel, I said it would mean a lot if I could take a picture of you, and there are 100 people waiting to talk to him. This picture is a holdup kind of situation. And he says, sure. He did it. I was the first person that got to talk to him off the stage.
That's
And,
awesome.
and there are people that are not cool. And I've read their energy, and you identified and edified his energy was really positive and very welcoming, and it was. But you learn who you want to get to know, and he was a cool guy to know. And at the event, he was just very open. He was just right there for everybody.
No, absolutely. I know there's some controversy around him, but like that doesn't even matter, right? Like people say things. Uh, I don't even know why I said that because I didn't want to say that. I apologize. But
No
it's
apology
what
needed. No apology needed, because anybody who's playing really big in the world, if they're not causing controversy, quite frankly, are they actually really saying what they think?
true. True. And what was really cool is after I didn't expect to see Montel there. I remember like seeing the flyer that he was going to be there, but I
Yeah.
was like, there's no way he's going to be like a he's gonna come in the back ways and like I'm not gonna see him. And then I saw him and I was like, oh shoot, hey bud, you mind if I take a picture with you? And he was super cool about it. And then but what was really cool is after I left, I got to do this live podcast for myself, but it was in a legit studio with the backdrop. And now because I met him right before I did that, I was like, dude, I feel like I had my own Montel Williams show because we were in a studio. I had a studio audience like looking, staring at me as I was interviewing my guest. It was super. It was such a great experience.
Did you have you interviewed anybody from the MIC yet on your show?
No, well, I don't know. Do you remember Daniel, the fluffy poodle? He was walking around with the poodle with the green hair.
Okay. Let me say how God works, bro. You ready for this?
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
I was gonna segue to that. I was gonna say you need to have him on your show. He's on my show, I think, in about a week, and he was on the Today Show like a week ago.
Yeah, dude, he's doing some amazing things.
Yeah.
He actually flew out here to be on my show.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Had you known that he was on the Today Show at that point?
No. He wasn't on the Today Show at that point.
Okay.
So I met him last year at Mick,
Uh-huh.
the
Right.
previous Mick,
Okay.
and we just stayed in contact. He really liked who I was. I liked who he is and what he's everything he's doing. And we just been in contact about making it happen. And he's like, "Yo, bro, I can make it happen. I can come out here this day at this time. Can we do it?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." So that's a huge confidence boost to myself, right? That
Yeah.
somebody doing doesn't matter the stature of the person, but the fact that somebody took time out of their own day and self-funded themselves to come to my podcast in other like states away, that's huge.
Yeah. Since he's such a cool guy, let's give him a quick shout out, okay?
Yo, absolutely.
I just think it's so funny you said, the fluffy poodle. Man, he is crushing it though. Look at that. And
He is.
and it's not about him. He's so generous with talking about really how great this poodle is and how great life is. And he is a magnet of just you want to just
He's just a ball of energy.
yeah, he is. Yeah, he's cool.
And then he
Well,
uses his dog to sucker you in, and that's what it is.
yeah, he is so approachable at the event, and he knows how that That fluffy poodle's a magnet.
Absolutely. And I love watching him develop and grow as an individual. And
Right.
um, what would- uh, what do you call somebody's? It's not his alter ego because it's who he genuinely is, but it's the public figure version of him
Right.
and the real version of him. They're so similar.
They are.
They're so similar. And so it's true. It's great seeing somebody who's real.
Well, since you brought up the Brotherhood piece, I'm not sure. Did you see the Today Show when he was on?
I saw a little bit of it.
Because I was kind of freaking out. I was like, I just met him like a week ago. I just met him, and I was just so excited. But I went over. I called him afterwards. I was like going through my phone. If I didn't do the keep smiling movement, quite frankly, I don't know if I would have found him. But
Yeah.
because I did that, I got his picture, and I said, "Hey, that's so cool that you were on the show." And we started talking, and I said, what was your favorite part of being on the Today Show? Because I knew what he was going to say. And he says, it's when they opened the truck that just gave me, and out came my friend who talked me out of not taking my life.
That's
And he
awesome.
and he said his SEAL friend heard him say, I'm in so much pain, I don't really want to be hanging, I don't want to be here anymore. And the SEAL friend said, SEAL brother said, that would be a disservice to all those who wish they were alive. So
Yeah,
that hit me hard, man.
absolutely. Um, yeah. I know who he's talking about too. He's the head of the memorial for the GWAT veterans.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, Daniel's got a great story himself. He's doing an amazing thing for veterans and himself. It's really cool.
Well, I'm going to say this live as when you say something live on the air, you're declaring it. When you declare something, you're stepping into the fact you're going to manifest that possibility. But my show can be anywhere from 12 minutes. It's never been that short. The shortest show is 20 minutes, and it can be as long as 2 hours. And that was kind of my 12 to 120, right?
Okay.
And it goes as long as it's supposed to. In other words, it does not have to go 120. It does not have to be short. And so what I realized is that the ones that go an hour and 20, they just have more directions we go, and the time ends up going by so quickly. Well, I said to him, the show's 12 to 120. It doesn't matter if we go 2 hours. He goes, well, my record's 4 hours, Ken. I said, what? So I'm declaring to you that if he can carry 4 hours and 1 minute or 5 hours, I'm actually going to hang with him.
No, I bet you that man could. He's really good at talking and he's just got so many things he's done, he knows, or he's working on
Right.
that I truly believe that you guys could do that. You know, Dr. Ken, I think there's something I want to work on you with, and it would be a podcast-a-thon where we somehow it's focused on raising awareness about veterans' mental health,
Mm-hmm.
but we do it for 24 hours. Where just like the old school days, for some reason, Full House is coming to my mind. The episode where Danny Tanner did like the call-a-thon and he had his family come up there. But I think that'd be a really cool thing to do. And I feel like it's very similar to your book, Keep Smiling and everything else you're doing. But this would be a live version and we figure out how to make that happen.
Well, I dig it, and there's no but to that. There's an and. What if we found 22 other veteran podcasters and we each took an hour around the clock?
That'd be great. Actually, we need to find 23 because I want to be more of like the host bouncing around doing it all. I don't necessarily want to be stationary,
Yeah,
but we could also do it at Mick. So when
that'd be
the
hot.
phones are potentially running dry, we can run downstairs and try to get some of whoever is there.
I love that. Yeah.
But I've had this thought, I've been trying to do it, but I've never gotten to the finish line yet. So
Well,
we're manifesting it live on air right here, right
yeah,
now.
you have a partner willing and able and excited to help support that.
Awesome. It's going to be great.
So 2026, we're doing it. I
Okay,
don't
perfect.
I don't think it's going to be that hard to create.
I don't think so either. I think it's going to be a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the time could be daunting, but the time is only daunting if you're not excited about what you're doing.
Right.
So we're both excited. So I wanted to say that you're probably going to be on my show again next year because mentioned a couple times you're going to do some type of legacy piece, whether it's a magazine, directory, book, or whatever. And I'm excited for you with that because it does change how many people not just listen to you but follow you, and it causes you to be a new person. You just ante up another level. That's a leader.
Absolutely.
So where I want to go now, unless you have any more stories that you'd like to share, which I'm happy to hear more stories, is I was going to ask you some of your favorites. My show wrap up is called Rapid Fire, and Rapid Fire is me understanding the programming of what makes you tick, or my guests tick. And the idea is that whatever makes you tick, if people really want to be more like you, they can just do those things that make you tick.
Oh, dang. So that's interesting because as I was listening to you, I was trying to formulate my answer, right? And the way you ended it really threw me off because the way I tick, I feel like is all everything I went through from a childhood till now. And that's why little segment is like I host sandbox networking events. I call them the sandbox because
Hmm.
all of our trauma started in the sandbox as a child. As
That's
a
right.
veteran, you have trauma from going to the sandbox or not going to the sandbox. So let's heal as adults in the sandbox. So now, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. You're going. When you finish, though, you'll find this interesting. What direction this goes? Go ahead.
Yeah, you want me to tell, I believe the way you ended your question, you want me to tell people how I am and that's why I tick. Well, I'm thinking like, well, fuck, this is from trauma, this is from this is from that. I don't want you don't want that, trust me, right?
No,
But
this is more inspiring. You'll find.
this this is me not wanting people to feel the way I felt or still continue to feel. I don't want people to feel that scarcity mindset when it comes to love, affection, worthy, and deserving, right? We all deserve to be here. We're all worthy of it. And we have so much power behind us. We just don't believe in ourselves enough. We have all those self limiting doubts that were instilled in us from childhood till now. And most of the times it wasn't even intentionally instilled in us, right? Like something I've recognized with my parents, mom, dad, I love you. But when I tell them something I'm doing, their version of showing me love is to tell me how it's going to fail, what could go wrong, all the negatives about it. So I chose at an early age, not knowing I was choosing it, but I chose the mindset of why even fucking try if I'm just going to fail. So I'm capable of such great things. I've been proving it to myself by my podcast. I'm going on year 5 this Veterans Day, my sandbox networking events, to now I'm hosting live podcasts where I've had audience from like 15 to 30 plus audience members just sitting there listening to us talk.
Wow,
Uh, and you just need to find that one person that's going to give you a little boost, a little push, right? I gotta give my blessings and thanks to Joseph Warhol. Without he's a former Marine, he's a Marine veteran as well. But if it wasn't for him encouraging me and say, "Yeah, bro, let's start this sandbox up," I never would have started it. I would still. I just did my 6th one, so it's once a month and I would still be sitting here like, man, I wish I could do this. I really want to do this. But because somebody encouraged me or gave me that little push that I needed, I started it and it's been nothing but blessings. I get to bring in 8 different mental health resources minimum from the veteran community and share it with the guests that show up on top of recording a podcast and sharing someone's story. It's inspiring.
that is so cool. I am reflecting on how the this show has navigated into a raw, like unpredictable, and I like it that way. I like it to be a bit of a hybrid because some of the structure you don't want to miss a piece. And when you hear what I was referring to with rapid fire, you'll appreciate that what was missing was the way you heard that and that you brought that into the show because that part was missing in the show, which was how you tick. Whereas sometimes when you have an author and you're going through the dynamics, you're hearing how they tick. You get me? So rapid fire is the programming of what you find to be the most influential pieces of different aspects of your life. And I'll give you the 5 that we use in the show. So it's how fast I can ask the question, how fast you can answer it. And in the 5 pieces are what book changed your life, what movie inspires you, what song gets you going, who's your hero, And what quote do you live by? It's a wrap up. But what I love about this is when I was telling you about it, we had we had I had a different way of explaining it because you didn't know about it and you heard it the way you heard it, and you went into the sandbox and you went into the trauma and you went into that causes you to tick different. And so I really I really got a lot out of what you just shared. It was awesome.
Yeah, I think it all relates back to our mental health and the reality of our choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because reality is just our perception. The way we see life is not the way life is actually happening. It's just our perception or our reality of it. It's not how life actually is. It's not until you stop and choose to pay attention and recognize these patterns or anything like that.
Yeah, when people say they're mad and they go, it's not you, it really is not you.
Yeah,
And when your smile is hopefully impacting someone in a positive way and it doesn't, it's not you. You're just doing what you can to help their perspective and reality. And I
right.
love that you brought that up. That's one of my favorite gifts I wrote in my book, my latest book, which was um, perception fueled by integrity creates the reality you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to show up the way you mean it and you got to be intentional about it, right? I keep saying these words, right? But life is our choice. Like, yeah, shit happens to us and there's certain things that are out of our control, but it's up to you to choose how you're going to respond and react to those situations.
Mm-hmm. So you ready for some rapid fire? JMAC?
Yeah, I am, but those questions are going to stump me.
No, they won't. I promise you they won't.
Yeah.
They won't stump you because they're what you call your faves. They're your faves. So I'm gonna hit you with what book changed your life? It's the book that changed your life. So is there a book that changed your life?
I'm sure there is, but I'm stumped, so I can't think of any, but I'll throw out two. One of them is The Obstacle in the Way. And then this is going to be the same answer for the movie too, but American Sniper.
Okay. So American Sniper, the book and the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't normally ask why, but since you said you didn't know which one you'd go to, why is that?
American Sniper because it's that motivating war story
Mm-hmm.
of like just a savage doing his job and being professional and proficient and doing great things. And it's like, man, I want that war story. I want to be that badass individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I
What
saved
was the other book?
Obstacle in the Way.
Obstacle in the Way. Okay. I guess it's a pretty big book, right?
Yes.
All right. Is this the book?
Yeah.
Ryan Holiday? Okay. 5.4 thousand people are pretty happy with it, or at least 5,000 of them are. So I'll have to check that book out. I do I do little screenshots to remind me.
That makes a lot of sense. That's very smart of you.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and hit the 5.4 so that I actually am mad at myself if I don't get it.
Okay.
That's it. 5.4K on reviews. That is insanely high. That's way, way higher than 1%.
Yeah.
That's like a thousandth of a percent to get that high, or probably even a millionth of a percent.
Well,
Millions
that's
of books
awesome.
come out, and he has 5,000 people that are happy with his book. So you picked something today that I would love to check out and see how it impacted you in a good way.
I can't wait till our book is at that level.
And it shall be, because of our determination and because of the people we're touching and including in the ride are going to be there to enjoy it as well. All right,
Absolutely.
so we got book, we got. Are you into music? I mean, you said that this is going to a lot of stuff's going to stump you. I'm surprised.
I yeah, I have a wide variety of music. I listen to pretty much everything but like heavy metal screamo to this is what I don't listen to is heavy metal screamo and like gospel music, but like everything in between. Right now, my girls have us stuck on the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I've also been trying to get away from listening to music because as much as it can pump you up, it can also alter your mindset and the way you view life or your gratefulness for your life. And I've been starting to try to listen to more podcasts, YouTube, more inspirational, inspiring, motivational speeches in a sense, right? Because I am trying to level up. I am becoming a better man, a better husband, father, podcaster, everything. And one way of doing that is listening to other people doing great things or other people with great messages.
Cool. What you want to give a shout out to your daughters?
Yeah, Eva and Ellie, they're 2 and 5 years old. They both are going to be roomie for Halloween. I mentioned that because Halloween is
Yeah,
coming up in a couple days here. So, yeah, I love them girls.
I can
I love
tell.
all my kids.
Good, good. And the final two questions: who's your hero?
Dude, everybody, you're my hero. My parents, my wife, my kids. But ultimately, I'm going to go back. I'm going to be my own hero today. I'm going to
Good.
manifest it that I'm going to start being my own hero. I have great inspirations from family to strangers and everyone in between. But it's time for me to step up and be my own hero.
Since you're a podcaster, either who would you like to meet just to meet, or who would you like to have on your show that you just would be like, oh my gosh?
Ooh, dang, I just went through a Rolodex, right? There's so
Mhm.
many people.
You can
I
name
think,
three. I'll give you three.
okay. So I really want Cody Alford on the podcast, Marine Raider, tatted up. I met him at Mick
Yep.
2 years ago or last year, not this one. Uh, I want to meet Sean Ryan because he's a podcaster, he's a veteran, former CIA, all of that. And I'll be giddy when I have Dr. Ken Smiley on the podcast.
Well, I have a poster that we made of people to honor for veterans, and we looked up influencers and we created this poster. And if you and I can have any of these people on our podcast, I think we'll get some extra traffic. You ready?
Absolutely, let's go.
Not too
Ooh,
bad.
those are all good ones.
I
Jocko,
know.
David Goggins.
I would love to
Yes.
have Jocko on. I mean, I'm sure every podcaster in the world wants him on, but he's such a cool. I just love his consistency of his message.
I think out of everybody on there, those are some great individuals too you have up there. But I think Jocko would be the most intimidating one to have on the podcast.
I'm kind of ready for it. I actually I would welcome it. Actually,
No, 100%. And yeah, he's going to be sitting on the couch right next to me one day. Absolutely. But just, yeah, just his voice alone
oh, I know.
is like, all right, I'm going to listen to you. All right.
Yeah, and his books are great. Okay, final question. What quote do you live by?
Make it exist and then make it good.
Awesome. How do people connect with you? How do they celebrate you?
JMAC Podcast, JMACH podcast on all social media. It's jmacpodcast.org and all streaming platforms.
Well, it was a delight and an honor to have you on the show. I'm so happy that we got to have a great conversation, unpredictable, went all kinds of different directions. And I'll just say that usually when a show's done, it is something that is memorialized and legacyzed and marketed because I love the conversation. I will say that I think we have another couple podcasts in us.
Absolutely. It was a real honor being here. So thank you for having me. And I look forward to staying in contact and be doing those couple other podcasts as well as the book and the podcast-a-thon.
You know, I'm going to be in Phoenix in the 6th, 7th, and 8th of November.
I will be in a veterans ayahuasca ceremony for
Really?
those days,
Okay, cool.
or else I would have loved to meet up with you.
Yeah, it's the $1 million mingle, but if there's any way that I can head over and
Is
say,
that with Floyd Mayweather?
I wish, I don't think it is. No, it's with AC
No?
Caswell. He's from the Raiders.
Okay.
He might be bringing them. I just don't know that to be the case.
I thought that was like I was invited to something like that earlier in the year, and I thought it was Floyd's organization that did it.
It,
Like
it,
maybe
it
I'm wrong.
it probably is, and they're not connected then because this happens once a year, if I recall. It might
Okay.
happen twice a year. I think he has a different name for it in the beginning of the year. But
Okay,
yeah, I
cool.
just want to let you know I was going to be in your neck of the woods, but uh, we'll just make it another time. I might have to have Odell fly me out there, because he flew himself out to be on your podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love you
You
too.
should, if you do come out again, come out December 28th through 31st for the Patriot All America. They're doing a veteran village, which it's a collegiate golf outing where
Hmm.
the golfers will carry a bag of a fallen service member or first responder's name engraved in it, in essence, giving them their final tour of duty. There's
Okay.
going to be a veteran village there, so it's free for veterans and first responders to come in, and your
Hmm.
boy will be hosting live podcasts twice a day there.
And the weather will be nice.
It'll be beautiful finally. It actually might be cold for us Arizonians, but it'll be good for you.
Yeah, very good for me. Yeah, I'll be leaving 30-degree weather to come out to give you a hug. All right. Well,
Absolutely.
Josh, thanks for a great hour, and look forward to seeing you soon, as well as having you back again.
Likewise, brother. It's my honor. Thank you.
Thank you.